Back here in the States, there is new fallout from the death of Tyre Nichols. The city of Memphis has now disciplined 10 workers from the police and fire departments who were at the scene that night, which includes the 5 officers who were charged with murder. Our CBS News correspondent Elise Preston joins us now from Memphis with more on this. Elise, good morning.
Good morning to you, Errol and Anne-Marie. It is clear the city is still healing after a traumatic past few days. This comes as peaceful protesters gathered yesterday, yet again demanding more than just individual accountability. Demonstrators in Memphis continued to call for police reform Monday, as Memphis police announced that 2 more officers had been relieved of their duties pending an investigation.
Damn, I didn't do anything.
An attorney for one of the officers, Preston Hemphill, confirmed his client wore the body camera seen in this footage. During the initial traffic stop, Hemphill is captured pulling Nichols from his car and attempting to taser him. After Nichols ran away, Hemphill could be heard saying this.
I hope they stomp his ass.
Hemphill's attorney says his client was not present at the second scene where the beating took place. He has not been charged with the crime. The Memphis Fire Department also announced yesterday it fired 2 EMTs and a lieutenant who arrived on the scene after the beating for allegedly not administering adequate care for nearly 7 minutes.
We pray for healing in the city.
Monday night, mourners gathered at a vigil for Nichols at the same spot where he was beaten. The 29-year-old was a father to a 4-year-old son.
What can you do when you experience trauma or when you have difficult emotions?
Administrators at the Balmoral Ridgeway Elementary School in Memphis are trying to help students process their community's grief.
They're not sure what those feelings are. So it's important to put a name to it so that they can understand what this is that they're seeing and how it's making them feel. I want you all to take out a sheet of paper and a pencil.
The school's counselor, Titantia White, had students write about their dreams for a better Memphis.
It's sad we can't trust cops. They're supposed to save us, not hurt us.
I think there should be less violence in the city of Memphis.
One thing we need is more positivity.
To hear some of the pain that were in some of those letters, that tells you that we have work to do. We have healing to do throughout the city.
As Memphis continues to mourn, the Biden administration announced that 4 officials will attend Tyre Nichols' funeral tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Shelby County District Attorney says additional charges could be forthcoming in the future. Anne-Marie and Errol?
So, Elise, what more do we know about the additional officers and the emergency workers who've been disciplined? Because all of us noticed that 5 cops were fired immediately, and now slowly other people are being held accountable.
So we are digging into the background of those 2 additional officers and those 3 fire department officials. We can tell you that the Memphis Police Department says that those 2 additional officers, Officer Preston Hemphill and right now an unnamed 7th officer, that they had been relieved of duty pending an internal investigation immediately. As far as the 2 EMTs and the lieutenant who drove to the scene, who first responded to where Tyre Nichols was beaten, the Memphis Fire Department hasn't really released much past that they waited, that they did not render aid immediately. We do know that the Shelby County District Attorney says that those at least those 3 fire department officials, they could face criminal charges, Errol.
So tomorrow is the funeral for Nichols. What more can you tell us about what's planned and who's going to be attending?
Well, I can tell you, just working here in Memphis previously, that Mississippi Boulevard Church, where this is happening, is a big church here in Memphis where often high-profile funerals do take place. We do know that in addition to loved ones and community members and the family's attorneys, we are expecting to see Reverend Al Sharpton there. He's expected to eulogize Tyre Nichols. The SCLC national president is in town ahead of the funeral. I've spoken to pastors across the country. They said that they are either here in Memphis or they are on their way. A lot of people showing love and support for the family of Tyre Nichols, but also they want to be here in what they are calling a watershed moment. This young man was beaten at the hands of police. He died 3 days later, and they want to stand with the family, but also they want to stand for police reform, and attending the funeral for them is that first step for this process, Anne Marie.
All right, Elise, thank you very much.